How's it going, everybody? Greetings and much blessings. So, let's say you have an employer actually offer some type of assistance as long as it's, I guess, within reason or legal parameters, right? Even this aspect of legal parameters. I want y'all to think about that. Well, they could just be thinking that they're doing you a favor, not really something that's done from the kindness of their heart, and that they will continue on doing these things as they support you in your endeavors, especially in as long as you are good with your employment with them. Basically, you do the best you can in whatever field you are, and you're someone that's dependable and reliable regarding the task at hand, the jobs that be. Yeah, I'd say it's just a rare thing, a rare scenario, rare commodity that you'll get out of the workplace. Um, there's just no connection there. There was a time when people enjoyed and took pride in going to work, literally. Like, to them, that was their place of refuge. To them, that was a place to where you could meet people there that you felt were friendly and you enjoyed your time there. Whereas now, you got to worry about somebody setting you up on a job. People are conniving, cutthroat. No one's your friend at work. Someone will talk behind your back to your supervisor about some confidential stuff you said to them. So the list goes on. I'm just saying basically that no empathy at the workplace. These days, you got to walk on eggshells and you got to be as private as possible at work. Um, I find that horrible, to be honest, because you need some type of camaraderie in places like that so jobs can be done more smoothly. But AI, the whole point of that is you can get things done smoothly without any emotion or connection. So that's in essence what the workforce has become. Yeah. So it's become that, and it's going to continue to get worse based on a lot of different laws and bylaws, and this is spiritual. I see some people in the chat, and you know, that's awesome. Good to see y'all. Much blessings to y'all. But this is real. This is definitely something foretelling, as far as um just everything that's going on in the workplace right now. So on kind of off the subject, but there's actually some truth about a lot of satanic things that take place, some demonic things that take place at the workplace. There's a lot that goes on that we don't realize. A lot of things that we don't understand regarding symbolisms. Um, a lot that goes on in upper management. A whole lot that goes on in upper management. Why you think you have some of these top CEOs and billionaires? They get exposed. Some of it is just for the camera, literally. It's just an act, it's just a psyop. But all that to say, that's what brings and trickles down to the employees where there's no empathy at all whatsoever. So, um, and we see this before our very eyes. We see that when you want to try to think that you're going to work to make some type of money for your family, it's not what you think it is. It's just becoming a more robotic situation, So, like I said, there's just a lack of empathy at the workplace. You have to disconnect yourself from that situation as much as possible. So, that's the thing I would say. You have to find ways to find ways besides the typical job. Uh, you know what I'm saying? It's the typical job now is a very, very bad place to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you just want to try to find other ways to keep your lights on. You know, some people get depressed waking up every day knowing they have to go to work. You know, like they dread it just like some children would dread going to a certain school every day where they know it's not a fun place to go to. It's like a lot of these places are just programming our minds to become more systematic, robotic, and actually just more institutionalized. You know what I'm saying? Like there is a lot more of that taking place as we operate at these different jobs. No matter what your career is, no matter what your profession is, depending on where you decide to actually work, you have to really think about the camaraderie there. And it's going to be really up to you because um there's really no silver lining to a lot of places out here that you want to work at. Um, that's why, in many ways, with everything that took place during the pandemic, if you will, a lot of people just wanted to be at home. Nobody wanted to go back to work because um, there's no connection there. There's no sense of humanity at these places. You know, the workplace is not an oasis whatsoever. It's tasteless and, it's a waste place. That's what you see amongst a lot of the workplace these days, unfortunately. So, um, yeah, the workplace lacks empathy. This video won't be too long. Just wanted to talk about some things. I just want to just come from a standpoint that this is our reality that we live in, this new norm, I guess that you would call it, since the pandemic. Someone just said they enforce inhuman rules, masking and 6 foot social distancing. Yes, yes, yes. uh, yeah, I agree with that. That is so true. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good comment. I appreciate that. Um, so yeah, someone was asking about can somebody be banned from the comments, and actually, there's speaking of robots, I don't know if it's actually robots, but certain comments are automatically being removed for review. Like literally, I don't even have to do anything. I do appreciate those wanting to be moderators. I appreciate that. Like, just come to my channel more often. Who knows? Maybe I'll hook you up. But for now, some of the comments automatically get removed or get held for review. So, but I do appreciate that. I do. Uh, yeah, with that said, I'll continue to, yeah, someone else talked about, yeah, not to mention the coercion of all the different mandates, keeping it PG. That's true too. Yes, I agree. Yeah, so that's making it to where there's just this lack of connection, and whoever accepted the mandate versus whoever didn't, that caused the divide right there. Because already, our minds started to change how we interact with each other at the workplace. There's already this sense of a certain mindset of emotion, just lack of emotion. You know what I'm saying? There's like this, not this sense of passion. Uh, as far as career, when things should be more communal. Um, so, you know, the thing is it makes for some people to take it in a different route depending on the god they worship. I see some people talking about their different gods they worship in the chat. Um, you know, I'd say this. It is some of the driving force to some of the corruption in the workplace, and as well as some of the retaliation that takes place in the workplace. Ironically, to some, work is their God. There's that too. just like money is some of these people's gods. So all that has led to the lack of empathy in the workplace. It's more so now a battleground in the workplace. That's why they say, like, when you walk outside your house, it's like a war zone, because you go to clock in at work, you just don't know what's going to happen when you get there. You hope you make it back out alive, depending on the situation. Hopefully, it's not too hostile of a work environment. You try to report that to somebody like the EEOC and people like that, Better Business Bureau. You're lucky if they're going to stand by your side. So, really, who's there for you at the end of the day? It's just a lack of empathy. I'd say, you know, having your own business in the future is going to be the new job. To me, I think that's the better way to go, especially for your mental and your spiritual. Um, because you're having to interact with all these other people, all these other different spirits and personalities that aren't even trying to gel and vibe with you. That's going to make things more stressful for you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make things more unhealthy for you. Someone said they have violated HIPAA at my employer since I contested their violation of law, and I haven't received a raise since. Oh yeah, a lot of that goes on. A lot of jobs don't even acknowledge their 2 week notices that are in their policies. Basically, a lot of employers can get away with breaching contracts. I mean, you got to think the sense of betrayal that an employee can experience, even if they're doing their 2 week notice out of good faith. Maybe they're just at a point of where they're about to retire, but they had an unceremonial farewell. You know what I'm saying? This happens all the time, y'all. Like, um, so at the end of the day, I think you just need to find ways to employ yourself, enterprise for yourself. I think that's the most spiritual and healthy way in these times, because you're not going to get that healthy environment from an employer. You know, you're going to get a very toxic environment. Uh, doesn't matter if they're nonviolent, they're still hostile. They're still toxic. They're not looking after your best interests. If they did look after some of your interests, they're feeling like they're just doing you a favor. They're going to bring it back up in your face at some point in time down the road when they're trying to throw you under the bus or add insult to injury. So a lot of people, a lot of employers are just like a lot of selfish people. Like, they don't really do things for you out the goodness of their heart. They're just giving you goods. You know, that's what it is, and it's very unfortunate because we've strayed so far away from what real humanity is. Uh, the fact when they say help wanted, no, you don't really want my help. You might as well change that sign to slave wanted or robots wanted, because that's kind of where we're going in the future. Y'all hearing the siren in the background? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. There was a siren in the background. There's going to be plenty more of those sirens in the background with people that continue to go postal. But don't be surprised if some people end up with microchips while they're at work so they don't go postal. The minute you have a certain thought in your mind, zap, that chip gets that part of your brain to react in a different way to where you can't counteract or try to combat, right? So, and there's a lot of futuristic movies that talk about this stuff. So, if you like my content, by the way, I come from a very cutting edge and futuristic standpoint with spiritual content. I do talk on some religious aspects, um, but that's what we're about over here, because you think about things like the future of Terminator and Skynet, all that's connected to some religious aspect of things. Some people say some things tie into the mark of the beast, but the aspect of some of the mark of the beast is actually man made. It wasn't originally in the Bible. They added that in the Bible. That's another conversation, though, right? So I'm saying all this to say people try to rewrite policies. They also try to rewrite prophecies. Kind of like that movie Megiddo. If some of y'all seen that, if you've seen the Omega Code, things like that, people try to rewrite prophecies all day long. And so we're seeing this in the workplace. We're seeing this all around the world. We're seeing how the constitutions and amendments always are getting what amended. They're always getting revised, reinterpreted. That's the real crazy part when things are getting reinterpreted. Like, look, it's in the fine print. What are you talking about? No, an employer, they just think they can override certain things that are in fine print, even when it comes to how you treat the fellow individual. Like, uh, I think at will employment, that's another thing that goes against what? Your free will, your spirit. Basically, at will is about breaking people's spirit. Keep that in mind, and hey, y'all continue to stay on the straight and narrow, and y'all continue to be blessed, and don't let these jobs stress you out. You need to go where you feel happy at most, right? You don't feel like a job is pulling your spirit down, so I just want to bring that up. Hope y'all give this video a like, and I'll see you next time.